burn the witch. She'll see the family fall. Don't burn the witch. She'll get back one and all. For she is the dream of tomorrow. Give her the night. You know what's right. Give her the night, oh, give her the night. Give her what's right, oh, give her the night. Don't burn the witch. She'll get right back at you. Don't burn the witch. Your friends and family too. Don't burn the witch. She got that certain brew. For she is the dream of tomorrow. Give her the night. Give her what's right.
From the haunted backwoods of America and live from the G&D Show studios, this is your Ghostman and Demon Hunter show.
Doesn't that sound exciting to you?
Yes, indeedy do. That does sound exciting to me, Demon Hunter.
Well, I guess I'm excited. Sure, why not?
Kinda sounds exciting, huh? Ladies and gentlemen of the G&D Nation, listeners around the world, thanks for joining us on what's sure to be another great episode of your Ghostman and Demon Hunter show, huh?
Okay, that sounds good.
You believe in that?
I'm all for that.
We're back.
I was thinking before, you just couldn't hear me over the music.
Welcome back. I can hear you fine. Welcome back. I just like to say, huh. That's my thing. That's how I broadcast, huh?
Oh, that's what you're gonna leave the world with when you're gone.
Yeah, that's it.
It's on first.
Little stooge humor for you. But, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to our studio, your studio, the G&D studio. I just poured me a Guinness. I'm so happy. Yeah, I did. The black nectar of the gods, man.
And it's going to sit there till the end of the show because we never drink on the program.
No, I don't. I just went to look at it. I heard it was fascinating to watch one. Have you ever seen a Guinness get poured? You pour that into the glass, and it when you open it up first, you break the seal on a can of Guinness draft. They have a ball, like a churning ball, and it goes up and it stirs the bottom, the stuff that's settled on the bottom. It stirs it to the top, and you pour it, and it's very beautiful. Very beautiful.
That was like a poem, Sean.
It was.
Like a poem from your heart that went out to the world.
I want a biggie fries.
Okay, man. All right, we are back in studio. Hey, we got a good show tonight.
We have a good show. We have a buddy coming on the show, Dwayne Claud.
Dwayne Claud. So I guess we
have news, and we have the zombie alert system.
Zombie alert. Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. Magic 8 Ball. Still broken.
Still playing with Magic 8 Ball.
It is. Hey, but that band tonight, guys, I got to tell you, Britannica. Now, they're out of Massachusetts. One of my favorite bands, guys. Britannica with 2 N's. Okay? Make sure you get it right. Look them up on Facebook. Britannica. That was Don't Burn the Witch. I was actually, I've always been fascinated with Salem, Mass.
You have?
Demon Hunter.
That.
Yeah, well, I'm constantly trying to get me and you out there. Ever since we had that cat on from the Ghost Tours of Salem.
Yeah.
We were planning on getting a live broadcast out there, and we never have yet, guys. The budget has not allowed for it, nor time. So we were going to fix that up. We were going to do that, but I found a video on YouTube, and Britannica, Don't Burn the Witch was the song, and the guy was walking around downtown Salem at night in the shadows and everything, and it was really cool, man. I dug it. I dig it. So check that band out.
It was there.
That's true. It was there. Oh, I was also going to talk about our friend Amy. She did a little piece on me. She had some newspaper a while back. Do you remember what the name of that?
Again, Sean. That's just.
I know. Do you remember what the name? Do you remember what the name of that was? That newspaper, Tribune. Yeah,
yes, the Tribune.
The Tribune. She did a story on me. Special thanks to her. But she's coming out with a new horror magazine. If you guys haven't noticed, Nate and I, the Ghostman Demon Hunter show, has kind of been thrust into the horror genre.
People got one look at our faces and said, "That's horror for you."
That is horror. So we kind of got thrust into that and the paranormal. Anything strange, really, is what we're covering.
Weird, odd, bizarre.
Yeah.
A little bit dirty. Yeah, that's us.
Dirty. That's it. Some more canned laughter. Those people are dead. I read something about that. That canned laughter.
They kill them right after they can them.
Right after they...
They kill them before they can them. I guess you would have to kill them.
Holy moly.
Yeah. This is going to be one of those nights? It's not, is it?
It's going to be one of those nights.
It's going to be one of those.
I've already sat down and talked with my old buddies, Jack and Coke.
Yes.
I have
We're
to
in the right
say,
direction.
Those folks who joined us a few weeks ago when we had, when I had pneumonia,
Yeah.
may recall that I was unable to smoke due to...
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, when we had our buddy Don Wildman from Mysteries at the Museum on the show,
That's right.
I was unable to smoke and I was unable to drink that evening.
Right.
Which may be why my voice had stayed at one level the entire time. But I have since not had a single smoke.
You haven't. I'm proud of you. You haven't smoked a cigarette since then. That's been 3-4 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
A cigarette, a pipe, a cigar, nothing. I have been using the new Blue Cig. And I got to say, I contacted Blue Cig, asked them for some tips, and as I go on using this, I might throw some of those out to folks listening to the show. So far, it has helped me keep from killing anyone, which anyone who has known me when I'm not smoking, death is definitely a possibility. But so far, I haven't killed anyone, thanks to Blue Cig. And right there, that's an advertisement for them. They don't even have to pay us for that one.
Yeah, they're not going to...
Thanks to Blue Cig, I have not killed anyone.
Mass murder stopped by Blue Sig.
Poop shooting. Yeah.
So, Blue Sig, so it did work then. They give you the nicotine. It's like the nicotine patch, but you still get nicotine out of it.
You still get the nicotine because, nicotine is addictive. It's just not full of the carcinogens that do all the other bad stuff.
Yeah.
But personally, do I miss smoking? I've been smoking for 25 years. Of course I miss smoking.
Well, yeah.
But it has kept me
Sex demon!
jail. So,
Right
there. The first little note about Blue Sig that you'll hear from me is, I have not killed anyone. Thank you, Blue Sig.
Oh, well. What are you gonna do?
I gotta watch you.
Say, they gotta watch you. You're off cigarettes, man. Oh gosh, I'm still chewing tobacco though. I about a can every 2 days. I can't help it. The pouches. I gotta stop though, because if my jaw falls off, I can't broadcast. Can't I?
That's right. That's what made me stop the pipe. People said, well, now you're not gonna have lung cancer. You're gonna have mouth cancer.
You know how I know we'll still deal with Sirius XM or something like that? It's when I develop some form of cancer of the mouth or something. Then we'll sign our contracts. That'll be it. That's our luck. But hey, let me finish up paying the bills here. Or
Pay
giving
the bill.
Giving the shout out. Anyway, our friend Amy, she's got a new thing, guys. Check it out. It's called Serial Strange. It's a new magazine, Serial Strange. Check it out. She's got a Facebook page. Seems like everybody's got a Facebook page this day, even more than websites. I don't blame them. It's cheaper. But Serial Strange. She's gonna be bringing us up every episode of her magazine that comes out. She's gonna give us a shout out. Hopefully.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that gives people who listen to the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter show a reason to check out her magazine.
Check out her magazine. Go there and tell her that you heard about her on the on the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter show. You heard it here first, folks. That's it. That's all I got. Demon Hunter.
Yes.
Listeners around the world.
They didn't answer, but I'm sure they're there.
They're there. Tonight's guest.
Yes.
Roll music, please. Tonight's guest, Dwayne Claud, from the Animal Planet's Demon Exorcist and the Bio Channel's Something Strange. Oh, Something Wicked. Something Strange. I'm the magazine. No, it's in the Bio Channel's Something Wicked that actually premiered last night, guys. He's a published author, lecturer, and a demonologist. And he's going to be on the show tonight. He's going to take us back in the shadows. We got some cool stuff. Kind of going back in the old days. Yeah, let's get off of that. Yeah, Dwayne Claud going to be in studio tonight. But yeah, it's kind of going back to the old days. We haven't had it on in a while. We're going to have some real life, alleged demonic voices and stuff on tape.
But see, it still follows our new pattern because it's been on television.
It's been on television, and we do everything strange and weird, man. So, and we still love a great ghost story. You know
I mean, it doesn't have to be on TV or a movie or anything like that. If somebody came to me with the coolest story ever, I would be like, you have to come on the radio show and tell that story. That's what we do. We hunt down the weird, the strange, the bizarre, the odd. Sean Burris, that's what we hunt.
That's it. We already got each other co-hosting, so we had to get other strange and odd people.
Strange things.
From around the country. But what else is going on this week? Anything going on big for you?
You know, weird little things have been bothering me this week.
Yeah.
Just little things. You know, maybe it's the lack of cigarettes that have been getting to me. But the littlest things have bothered me. Like, I shaved this morning.
You've been kind of an ass this week.
Candy bars.
Getting more and more like Sean Burris.
I know.
Candy bars.
I shaved this morning, and I go to leave, and I'm driving in the car.
Yeah.
And I look up, and I missed like one little patch
under your nose
on my cheekbone, you know, and I'm man. Son of a gun. And as I'm driving, of course, it's the first bright and sunny, shiny morning in a long time. And the sun glints off of the hair on the side of my face. And all I wanted to do was reach into the mirror, grab the guy on the other side and say, why didn't you shave closer?
Right. You got to stop and get a disposable Bic at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And do you know that? But disposable Bics at the 7-Eleven are like $2.99 now. What the heck?
No, I didn't. Everything is $2.99 now, isn't it? Except for gas. I think a piece of candy is $2.99.
Yes, your penny candy is now $3.
Yeah.
But that was like the first little thing that grabbed my got in my craw today.
You know I'm going to wear that out, man.
Funny, they're not laughing at anything you say.
I know. Hey, we always wanted our own sitcom. Here we go. We got our own sitcom now, man. Hey, it is Sunday night. I thought it was Saturday night for some reason, man. We was warming up, and I thought, you know what are we doing down
Why
here?
are we doing this?
Are we testing? We couldn't run a test because we almost ran over to start the show.
It gets to that point. It's well, now that we both have jobs and we never know what my hours are going to be anymore. And,
Right.
And since I have to restrain myself from killing my coworkers, since I am, thank you, Blue Cigarette. But
Thank you, Blue Cigarette.
that's going to be my new catchphrase.
Yes, it is.
Blue Cigarette. Before you know it, I'm going to have like on saying that because of me,
Right.
and I won't make a dime off of it.
No, we seem to sponsor a lot of people that don't sponsor us, but it'll happen. It'll happen. What are you going to do, man?
But now we don't get to walk around going buttheads anymore because I don't smoke the cigars.
See, that's true. Well, they got lots of free spoofs from us.
They
for
had
years.
5 years of free sponsorship there.
Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So anyway, I this week I really had nothing going on. I was off. It was a long weekend for me. I took Friday off, and so I was off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Friday, I went to this. Have you guys ever been somewhere where you can feel somebody staring at you? You know, without even looking at them, you've been in a situation where you can feel somebody staring at you, Demon Hunter. You know what I'm talking about?
Normal, Sean. We're supposed to feel that all the time.
No. I went to a. This is the first time I really had it happen. I went to a gas station, and I'm standing there, and I'm pumping gas, and I feel the weirdest feeling that I've ever had. It was somebody. It was somebody staring at me. I knew it, and
So thrilling.
yes, it was thrilling. And I was pumping gas, and I mean, I knew somebody, and I even knew what direction they were in. I looked right over my left shoulder, and sure enough, there was the biggest, hairiest, fattest man you could ever want, man. And I swear to God, he was wearing Daisy Dukes.
And he looked over and said, "Have I seen you on Chubba-Rama?"
Oh, yeah, have I seen you on Chubba-Rama or heard you on G&D show? But he was staring right at me, man. I pumped my gas, and then I think I got 5 gallons at $82 or whatever, and I got out of there, man. I got out of there because
You got a right pretty mouth.
yeah, he was staring right at me. It was very scary. He was a big, a very bulging man, as they would say. That's what they call him.
And didn't take the time to get to know him, Sean. He could have been the nicest guy.
We could have cuddled up. It
It could have been the kind of guy who you could have gone out on a date with the missus and left them to take care of the children. You know, he could have been the perfect babysitter. You don't know.
He might have been. Looked like a mass murderer. I think he had poop on his face or something. Can you say poop on there? I forget. His
Yes,
face.
poop is okay. Poop is okay.
He had smeared something on his cheeks. It was either war paint or poo. I don't know. But that was that was scary.
Don't judge me, monkey.
That was scary, man. That was scary. Hey, you ready for the news?
In just a second, I had one other thing happen to me this week.
That's too much.
One more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I actually purchased a new washer and dryer for the house.
Yeah.
And went in, ordered these things. They came in, they were delivered, they hooked them up. They come with an instruction manual
Okay.
that is the thickness of, well, I left you with thickness there, but you're not going to make a move on it.
No,
so-
I'm going to move on it.
You're really
It came
piling
with
the energy in this
it's
room right
thick-
now.
It's like a phone book, a small phone book for to work these things. These are so complicated that for Chrissy P, my wife Chrissy P, I ordered a DVD so she could learn to use the washer and dryer.
Oh.
Well, since when do washer and dryers come with more buttons and lights than R2D2? That's what I want to know.
See, that's the thing about that, because it's those new ones. You're talking about the front loads or whatever.
Front loaders, and it's
Yeah.
got like, you don't have to tell it what size wash you're going to do anymore.
Yeah.
It figures it all out for you. And
That's just showing off.
Skinny bars.
That's showing off. I still got the cheap ones. The
it's only $100 more than the cheap ones. So I was
Was
like,
it?
all right, they were on sale. I bought them.
Yeah. Were you happy about it? I mean, do they get your clothes white and your darks dark?
They do, but the more interesting thing is my cat sits in front of them now 24/7 and watches them because he just thinks it's the coolest thing ever.
Right.
You're really clouding the energy in this room right now.
Well, I mean, those machines, they'll get done what you need them to done, but they do the same thing as hanging your shirt up on the clothesline like my grandma used to do in the backyard.
Only they don't smell as sweet.
That's true. Well, have you ever had your clothes dried by natural air?
Dude, I grew up on a Pennsylvania Deutsch farm. Of course I did.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
I remember being a kid trying to figure out how my mom reached the clothesline because it seemed so high up, It's
Yeah.
Fascinating.
was.
Do you guys have to...
It would have been more fascinating if you had not commented on the fact.
Did you pay... did you make payments or did you pay in full? That's important detail.
Credit card.
There you go. So you'll be making payments for a
I'll
long
be making
time.
payments for a long time.
That's it. All right, Demon Hunter, is that it?
I suppose that's it. I guess it's time for something else now.
Something else. Guess what? G&D. It's hot. It's exciting. It's from the vault. It's hot. It's fresh. It's new, and it starts right
now.
Oh, you jumped the gun.
Well, I was waiting for you to pause so I could say, and it starts right now. But
Starts.
you jumped the gun.
I did jump the gun a little bit.
That's what I hear from your women all the time.
I'm a little off today.
Sean finished first. That's what I keep hearing.
I did. In the news, Demon Hunter. I can lead us off tonight.
You read the news. Yeah.
I did. Are you ready for it? You ready for my story?
I am always ready. Dude,
All right.
I was born ready.
That's why you go read your story while I do this one here. And,
I'm listening, though. I'm listening.
no, you sent a lot of good stories this week. I was proud of you.
Thank you. I worked long and hard to get those stories for you.
See, that's it. Brewer offers $1 million.
No, you folks, just to pause for a second. Sean is excited about these news stories because I just fed him the feed-in line long and hard, and he said nothing.
That's it. I was into it, man. Brewer offers...
All right, read the news.
$1 million reward for big feet. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Sasquatch has been on the lam for far too long, and Brewer Olympia Beer is out to catch the elusive beast. Evan and Darren Metropolis, drink up, guys, owners of Pabst Brewing Company, I know how to pronounce that very well, they're offering $1 million reward, guys, for the safe return of Bigfoot. We have been sharing the same backyard for over a century, and we believe it's time to do what has never been done. The company announced on its website that it's to offer $1 million reward to anyone who can ensure the safe capture of the big fella. That's right, guys, the big feet himself. According to the official rules of the contest, the winner must prove the existence of Bigfoot at some time during the period beginning January 1st, 1989 through March 31st, 2014. And they are serious about the evidence. The rules state that acceptable proof must be in the form of DNA evidence, hair, blood tissue, or saliva that does... How are you going to get saliva on Bigfoot? That does not have the same genetic markers and DNA sequence as any known species ever discovered. I got some questions here. The evidence may also include visual proof of a live physical body. Huh? You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Yes, we have been operating in the Northwest since 1896, so we know firsthand how important the big fella is to the people here. The owners at thedrinkbusiness.com told whatever news, Fox News. The contest will run for 1 year, guys, finishing at the end of March 2014. The website states that $1 million reward payable at $25,000 per year for 40 years. So happy hunting, guys, and stay safe. Just a reminder from your Pabst Blue Ribbon Company. Now I got some questions here.
Now, wait. Just for some of the fact, let's remember that this pays off over 25 years?
40
years. 40
25 grand a year.
Now, let's just remember, it is Pabst Blue Ribbon. And
hey, Pabst sells a lot more. Yeah.
So it's not going to come all at once. But, most people who go out and hunt Bigfoot, $25,000 a year,
right.
That's a good little touch to the salary there, huh?
That'd help for a while, man.
That would help me for a while.
25 grand a year? Yeah, that'd be wouldn't need for much on top of what you make. You'd keep back off quite a bit. But I was going to say, how do you It says you got to make sure that the DNA doesn't match any other known species ever discovered. Now, how do
my
we...
question on that?
Huh?
What if one of these like reported DNAs that they found that don't match other DNAs? What if it matches one of those? Is that evidence that there is a Bigfoot, or does that disqualify you from the money?
See, I don't know. I think they got some kind of clause in there where you can't get the money either way. Because think about it. Wonder if the Bigfoot has made it with some other primate. I mean, an ape and a human or whatever. Then it would have ape DNA to some degree. Wouldn't it?
But all DNAs are different by some mark. You know, it's like we're in the ape family, but we don't have the same DNA as chimpanzees. It's close, but apes than we are to chimps. So that's evidenced by my co-host here.
That's it. I am an ape man.
I was going for the pig, but okay.
See, you're up. You want me to go next?
I can go. Sure, why not? I've got a really fun one here, Sean.
Okay, take the fun away.
From the Huffington Post.
Huffington. Okay.
Huffington Post. Man tries to sneak pet duck and beer into Honolulu court.
I like it. I like it already. You told me I'd like this one.
A guy walks into the court with a duck and a beer.
Right.
This really happened, according to reports. Michael, are you still playing laughter in the background?
I was trying.
Michael, don't forget, folks, the G&D drinking game is still in effect.
Drink up.
If Fun and I mess up, take a drink, as long as you're not listening to this on your iPod while you're driving.
Drink up.
So, Michael Hubbard tried to smuggle in his pet duck and a beer into a Honolulu courtroom. But screeners noticed something moving in his bag as he passed through the x-ray. Per Hawaiian News Now, guards asked him to open the bag. When he refused, they told him he would have to leave immediately. Escorted by officers, on his way out he yelled, "There's a live duck in there!" The guards took a peek, and sure enough, there was the duck. And a beer. 2 bottles, by some accounts. Hubbard, who has 2 assault cases pending against him, eventually left the duck with deputies to make his appointment inside, the Associated Press wrote. No word on what happened to the beers. As you might expect...
So the duck might have drank the beers? Is that suspect there?
No, nothing has been reported on what happened to the beer yet.
I'm more worried about the beer right now than the duck.
As you might expect, people have attempted to bring other questionable items into the halls of justice.
Yes.
A son, allegedly, tried to smuggle marijuana in his mouth to deliver to his dad, who faced a theft charge at a parliamentary hearing in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. When the son saw that the court security was onto his plan, he allegedly swallowed the dope.
Yeah.
And last November, a man came to New York Housing Court of the vermin problem in his apartment. Uh-huh. A bag of 7 dead rats he had stabbed with a fork.
7 dead rats?
7 dead rats, so he had stabbed with a fork.
Okay.
Now, I'm more interested in the duck and the beer than the 7 dead rats. But,
yeah.
That's just me. That's the way I roll.
I think that's a joke. Is that confirmed?
This is confirmed. It's a confirmed story. The man tried to take a duck into the court with him.
Yeah.
Maybe he couldn't find a duck sitter.
Are you a pothead fucker?
All right. I queued that up for you.
You a pothead fucker?
When the guy said, he took that into the his dad or whatever.
Hoo-ah!
Yes! Hoo-ah.
1 rectal breach coming up.
All right. Is that your story? Was that it?
That was my story. Go ahead.
Interesting. I like that. Okay, French scientist. Did you see this one? Did you see the title?
I saw that. I didn't read it because all I saw was the title, and I said, not even going to read it. I'm just going to send it to Sean and let him surprise me with it.
All right.
You smell like urine. A lot.
French scientist bemused by buzz over bra research. I'm so happy by this. You made my night. You made my night.
Please get on top of me.
So, by Tara Oakes, guys, from, where'd you say, Reuters? Paris, a little-known French sports doctor who spent 16 years studying the busts. I spent at least 37. 37 years. Studying the bust of 300 women sent a scare through a country known for its love of lingerie this week when he suggested bras were useless. I agree.
Useless.
I think they're terrible, terrible things
I think they're wonderful things.
that are bringing on the end of the world, Demon Hunter. Huh?
I think they help shape our society.
Okay. Jean Dennis Roulin, 62, was thrust into the limelight after he told his student radio station. He's 62, dude. He's just saying this for you can see breast. More breast. Wearing a bra weakened the natural muscle that hold up breast, and women should consider going braless. Yes, ladies, you should. National Radio picked up the story in Roulin, based at the small University of... Oh, drink up, guys. Franchicamate in the eastern town of Biscan was soon being hounded by newspapers and TV. France Info Radio interviewed a 28-year-old volunteer in the study Cappuccino? No, Capuchin. Capuchin, who said abandoning her bra had liberated her in more ways than one, improving her breathing and her posture. You breathe better, you stand up straighter, you have less back pain, she told the national news station. Why couldn't we get her on the show?
I don't know. Why didn't you ask for it?
Well, I was going to try to get her, but...
Googly moogly.
She told Reuters that this unpublished work is still in the early stages, or he told that it's still in the early stages, and he is hesitant about giving one-size-fits-all advice to women despite the media circus. But his preliminary results of 330 women aged 18 to 35, suggests, good study group, Doc. We appreciate that. Suggests that wearing a bra from an early age does nothing to help a wearer's breast, and going without cold. I'm thinking of breast and cold and
We're thinking breast, cold,
monkey.
pop up. I don't know.
yeah. Anyway, going without it could improve the firmness, ladies. So if you want beautiful, firm breasts,
Just got you all disfuggled.
it did. If you want to get beautiful, firm breasts, then you go without your bra. Yeah.
Heard it here first on the G&D News.
That's it. If you're middle-aged and you're overweight, it says it's very important. If you're overweight and you're middle-aged, it's very important to have.
You're really clouding the energy in this room.
Yes, I am. Firm breast. Firm breast.
You're just going a little bit off kilter there, Sean.
I am. I'm a little off.
Hey, you remember those stories we heard when we were young about somebody that a tractor would fall on them, or they could crash in a car, and somebody's adrenaline would pump up, and somebody would lift the car up?
Yeah.
Well, there's actually evidence of that this week. The Huffington Post brings it to us. Man's daughter removes 3,000 pound tractor off his chest.
Inconceivable!
I know.
I can't believe that.
Jeff Smith has two reasons to live. His teenage daughters, Hannah and Haley. They are the reason he's alive today.
Are they 18 to 36? They can get in this study here. I'm going to go help the scientist.
They managed to pull a 3,000 pound tractor off his chest and saved his life last Monday.
Okay.
Smith of Lebanon was trying to pull a stump out of his garden with a tractor when his muddy boots slipped on the clutch, causing the tractor to flip, with the steering wheel pinned him to the ground, NBC News reported.
Okay.
He screamed for help, and luckily Hannah, 16, and 14-year-old Haley heard his cries. Somehow, the two lifted the machine enough to give him breathing room.
Right.
It's amazing. You hear of this kind of thing all the time.
Uh-huh.
The adrenaline rush, being able to pick up cars and slide people out. You never
Give me some sugar, baby.
it's really there until you actually witness it.
Right.
Told KGW TV. I was very amazed and very grateful that they were able to do that. Hannah remains shocked by her sudden feat of strength. I just can't believe it happened. I don't do a good Hannah voice. We were supposed to go to a friend's house. Yes. I don't know why we didn't. Well, there's something paranormal right there. You know, when people say that things happen. You know,
right.
She told the Albany Democrat Herald newspaper. really felt it.
Go ahead. Continue. I'm listening.
You promised me.
I did it right in the middle of your segment, too.
She really felt
Okay, you're good.
felt it the next day, she's added. I felt like an 80-year-old getting out of bed, she said.
She's not wearing a
Finished the
bra.
job by using his tractor and shovel to lift Smith's tractor and allow him to get out.
Right.
Smith suffered a broken wrist, cuts, bruises, but came away with a deep love and respect for his daughters. ATVB TV reported. Well, shouldn't he have had a deep love and respect for his daughters before that?
He probably did. He probably a
The
bit more.
tractor is also okay, but its new nickname is Satan, according to NBC.
I would think that he would have a huge fear of his daughters now. If they're picking up tractors.
Turned green when this happened, and suddenly we're 3 times their size and we're able to lift it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you seen your kid pick up a tractor,
Have you seen my
I mean, that would do it for you. I mean, I'd be scared. You would never give him a spanking again.
Never.
Never. You're not
I
supposed to
don't
spank
think he can give them a spanking ever again. Well, one, they're at an age where if he gave them a spanking, there might be other claims involved there.
Inconceivable!
But, he definitely owes them a bit too much to give them a spanking now.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I'm looking through the news stories here. I want the next good one, but you got these. Hey, we didn't give a shout out. Who was the Margaret Thatcher?
Margaret Thatcher passed away.
Margaret Thatcher, October 13th, 1925 to April 8th, 2013. God bless you, Margaret. Done some great stuff there.
It's funny because, I work with people who are young enough that they don't know who Margaret Thatcher is.
Yes. Yeah,
So, when I announced it at work that Margaret Thatcher had died and I heard silence, I was like, well, she once helped rule the world with Reagan and Pope John Paul. They later let Gorbachev join, but...
they was showing some pictures of her in a bikini when she was younger, and...
Did they really? I don't believe you.
She did. They did. When she was younger, she was...
Really?
I'm serious.
Huh?
Here's one.
Annette Funicello also died.
She did. I don't know. Who was that? How old was she?
She was the famous Mouseketeer from the Mickey Mouse Club that everybody... was all in love with during the mid-1960s.
I remember on Stand By Me, they said the M and the M's at the side were bulge out. They could remember that? They said I can't.
Oh yes, I remember that.
I can't say Mickey Mouse. The M's.
Yes, Stand By Me. They talk about it.
Yeah, Stand By Me. Stand By Me. I liked it.
And Jonathan Winters.
Jonathan Winters. Yes. Come
on.
Here's one that's real dear to the heart, and because we're in broadcasting, Demon Hunter. Roger Ebert died.
Oh my gosh, yes, Roger Ebert. I mean, come on.
He was battling cancer for many
People
years.
are dying today who never died before.
He was age 70. You left us way too soon, Mr. Ebert. He was great, man. He did I remember watching him on Channel 20 on the, what was that? The special, what was that? What'd you call that? The movie,
they did At the Movies. It was Ebert.
Yeah, Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah.
Siskel and Ebert. Yeah, that sucks, dude. I don't know why I read that.
Well, also for those of you who are Harry Potter fans, I'll throw this out there.
Throw it out there.
Richard Griffiths also passed away. He was the English actor who played Harry Potter's uncle.
Right.
In the Harry Potter movies. But
so he's dead, huh? What was cause of death?
That's a good question.
See?
It was those monsters that fly around and suck people's souls out.
Demons? Was that? That's what we'll be.
Tonight's show, doesn't it?
That's the subject matter tonight's show. That's what's going to happen. That's a good one.
It doesn't say how he passed away. No, they didn't give me that.
Well, you scanned through it very nicely.
But
I like that.
That's really funky monkey.
He was also in the 1994 Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, was he really? Now, that was a good one. With Johnny?
Or 1999. I'm sorry, 1999. Sleepy Hollow. Yep, with Johnny.
Yeah, I was going to say that. No. You sure that's 99? That came out?
No, I think it was 99. Wasn't it? Yeah, because it came out when I was living in Newtown, Connecticut.
All right, well. New York summons dead woman for jury duty. New York, April 14th from the UPA, guys. A New York woman who has been dead for nearly a decade keeps getting jury duty summons. Her former caretaker said the Board of Elections still sends jury notices to Elizabeth H. Mendoza, who would be 104 years old if she was still alive. The New York Post reported Sunday. I write a message on the envelope. Get it together. You should know that she's not around. Take her off the registry. One of Mendoza's former caretakers, Adrian Guerrero Sr., said, but the mail keeps coming. They won't stop. The latest notice was a juror questionnaire mailed April 1st. The Post reported in most cases the Department of Health notifies city agencies of deaths, but Board of Elections spokeswoman Valerie Vasquez said the data were not the most current and up to date. Huh? There's our taxpayer money. It's going to mail dead people jury notices, huh?
With the price of stamps nowadays, that gets expensive if they're going to keep calling her in years after she died.
Yeah, I don't understand why they would do that.
Hey, here's one I hadn't planned on reading, but it just kind of popped out to me. So I haven't even gotten to practice read this one yet, but let me give it a try here. Because it jumped out to me, Florida man building replica of Noah's Ark.
Ooh, yeah.
This comes to us today out of Miami. It was just sent to us today by UPI News.
Okay.
A Florida man says he's building a replica of Noah's Ark in Miami-Dade County that will become a museum and petting zoo.
Drink up.
Hey, I said it right. It will become a museum and petting zoo to raise environmental awareness.
Okay.
Oh, well, you know what? This isn't as interesting as I thought. Never mind.
It was a great title.
Who you calling a psycho?
I thought that it was going to be cool and all.
I know. That was a great
great title, but, it's a petting zoo to raise money for the environment.
Now, here's one for you, Demon Hunter. Down the street from where I lived in beautiful Johnson County, Indiana. Well, not so beautiful, actually. Down the road from where
I'm ready for sex.
Yes, I am. Right down the road from where I lived, the church, when I was a kid, built a Noah's Ark.
Really?
And it was, I don't know if it was full scale. I'd never seen Noah's Ark, but I don't think they could get two of every animal in there or whatever. But they did. And it towered over the church.
Wow.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I think it was for Vacation Bible School or something, But it was cool, man.
They turned it into the parsonage and the minister just moved in there.
I loved it. I thought it was
funny story. After the dam broke, he was the only one who survived.
Yeah, that was it. I don't think. You think Noah could? Do you think Noah was real? Do you think it?
Well, I don't. I believe science.
Without getting biblical.
I believe scientists have shown that at no particular time was the entire world covered with water within the last 6,000 years.
Who you calling a psycho?
That's right. So I think it would be hard to say that a flood occurred, which a character named Noah.
Okay.
Saved every animal, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get biblical here on it, folks, because Sean knows. That's why he said don't get biblical, because if I wanted to.
Yes.
But the fact of the matter is, almost every culture has a flood story with someone still similar to Noah.
Mm-hmm.
So is it possible? Sure, it's possible. Was there one guy that this happened to? Did it happen maybe in multiple locations where people of that area thought what the world was as far as they could see? So was an entire area flooded and that happened? Sure, why not? I'll take that. I'll believe that.
Or was a lot of the things in the Bible metaphorically speaking, with things. They were good metaphors,
Well, Jesus spoke in parables. What in the New Testament? Why wouldn't the Old Testament too?
I don't know.
There you go. Hey, have you ever lost your wallet?
No, I haven't. I've been lucky with that.
Never lost your wallet?
No, I've never lost it. Have you?
I am. That in itself is amazing to me.
Have you lost it? If you didn't lose yours, that'd be a very short conversation.
I lose mine all the time.
I get scared. I think sometimes I've lost it. And,
I need to go to my quiet place.
I do when I think about losing my wallet. So,
well, apparently there was a man who found his wallet after 35 years.
Wow.
This just came to me from, I believe this is another one that came to me from the Huffington Post.
Okay. Good old Huffington.
Man finds wallet after 35 years. When Richard Lane lost his wallet in 1978,
okay,
he never expected that he'd find it 35 years later in a wall.
Wow.
Lane, 58, lost his brown leather wallet while playing squash in a northern England town.
Okay.
He suspected the wallet was stolen, and with it, his money, driver's license, union card, and payment plan for his TV. Remember when you had payment plans for TV?
No.
He also figured he'd never see it again.
Right.
But workers recently found the missing wallet in a wall cavity at the gym and actually tracked him down, the Sun reported. Lane, who now lives 100 miles away, is still shocked by the reunion. It's amazing! It's been found, he said. According to the Mirror, it looks like someone took the cash out of it and chucked it into a leaf shredder and tried to hide it, but it's still here. Simon Bell, the manager of the gym where Lane lost his wallet, is also surprised by the discovery. Right. Our lost property... sorry, have a drink, folks. Our lost property policy is only to keep items for 3 months.
Okay.
And we are delighted to make this exception for Mr. Lane and keep his property safe for 35 years, Bell told the Evershire Journal.
The bell toes. You know, I lost when I was in 8th grade, I lost a Dukes of Hazzard. No, I was in 5th grade. A Dukes of Hazzard Velcro. Well, you remember those? The Velcro,
I do remember those. Do you know those were originally brought to this country by the man who wrote the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book?
You smell like urine.
No,
a lot.
I don't remember that.
You smell like urine. A lot.
No.
So the guy brought those to the country. Why did he bring those to the country for? I mean, what's the...
Well, that was his. That was one of his initial projects that he brought to the U.S. in order to start raising money. Robert, boy, folks, I'm not even reading this one, and you're gonna have to
drink
for this one.
Shoot.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Robert Kioski. But he I remember reading one of his books and is saying how he started the company that brought those Velcro wallets to the U.S. and to save $10,000 because he was new to the business world, he didn't patent it.
Okay.
And within a few months, everybody under the sun was selling Velcro wallets that they were making.
Oh, no.
There you go, folks. Patent your ideas.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe you didn't patent it, man. What a great idea. I had a Dukes of Hazzard, though. It had the General Lee, and it had the 01 on it.
And in the back, was it like when you opened up the wallet, was there a fold-out Daisy Duke?
There was a photo of Daisy Duke, and I was very...
You cut that out of a magazine and stuck it in.
I was very excited about it. Daisy Duke, I had a crush on her, man. Her and Princess Leia.
Who didn't have a crush on Daisy Duke?
Yeah, but that was before I even knew what crushes were. I just had a strange feeling. You know? I didn't know what it was.
All warm and cuddly inside.
Hey, I wanted to talk about Craigslist today. Have you ever put anything on Craigslist?
I have not, but I have read Craigslist.
You have read Craigslist to try to look for something, I would imagine.
Yes, I was actually looking
Inconceivable!
It was years ago, and I was looking for a bird cage, I believe.
Okay. Well, I have two full-grown bearded dragons. Well, they're not full-grown. They're about a year old. Well, they're very expensive.
Let's be truthful here, Sean. Your bearded dragon isn't that full-grown.
No, there's two of them. I have a male and a female. Been very well kept, but they're in the basement here, and old dad has to take care of them. The kids wanted them, but classic story. Yeah, I keep taking care of them. Got to change them. Sand, mice, whatever. So, proper lighting. I'm trying to get rid of them. So, I put it on Craigslist. First time I've ever put anything on there, right? You've heard about the Craigslist being so great outlet, whatever. So, I put it up there. I'm real excited. I'm thinking, well, this is going to sell. It's a good price. I got the aquarium. I got all this stuff. So, I put it up there. And I want to read you, guys, right off there, right out of my own email today from Mosteller Poitner. This came in, guys, at 3:27 today, right before the show. Okay. Are you ready for this, Demon Hunter?
I'm ready.
I don't think you are. But,
give it to me, Sean. Give it to me.
Oh, I'm going to give it to you. Here we go. It says that you must read this if you're legit and follow my direction. My pics and cell phone number are located on my private profile. So if you're seriously like what you see, then get a hold of my number and text/call me soon. This is the only way to prevent weirdos and to be sure you're a pretty safe person, specifically since I want to host at my house. I'm not a bot, so stop second guessing me. If you think I'm not real, then let it go. I'm a freaky girl in spelled girl, G-U-R-L, in bedroom, so want to tell you over the phone what I'm interested in. In you, rather than wasting my time and emailing here. I just hope you're the real deal. Hugs and kisses. Hugs and kisses. And you can go to www.checktpe.net, apparently. I wouldn't suggest you do it, guys. I wouldn't suggest you do it. She sent me 2 downloads, and it's got a picture of this chick up here. There's 2 of them up here. And she's real pretty. I mean, yeah. I'm sure that's her. I'm sure she's hanging out on Craigslist and
Yeah, of course she is.
Don't judge me, monkey.
I was gonna call.
I want to know, Sean, what section of Craigslist did you list your bearded dragon?
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Huh?
I don't know. I'm not going to repeat it.
That's good. What did I put it under? Pets.
Did you put it under pets or petting?
Pets. Okay. I'm pretty sure if I put it under kids' toys, I'd still get this kind of stuff. That's what I mean. I mean, Craigslist, they need to do some house cleaning there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these sales sites need to. No wonder there was a Craigslist killer. I mean, my God. You know, sex and killing, apparently. That's what was going on.
Does not represent those of Gross Man and Demon Hunter or their affiliates.
No, but Craig, if you're listening, clean up your site, bro. Huh? If you're listening, Craig, I know you're a big listener to the show. We're friends, Demon Hunter. You know that.
Of course we are.
We're friends
Not
with you.
anymore, now that you said that.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe it. This is like the 3rd one too, Demon Hunter. In like a month, this is like the 3rd one. Now I got to repost it.
You've saved all the emails and photos.
I haven't. I was going to say, our listeners out there, you know, there's a bunch of them running to the phone right now. Jerry, Scary Jerry, step away from the phone, go back in your chair, and listen to the rest of the show.
Call Jerry. Do not call.
Don't do it. You know how many of our listeners are picking do. I hope you're the real deal. I'm a girl, G-U-R-L. I want to host at my house. What's host at my house mean? Is she going to have a swingers party? You know?
Maybe. It's very possible.
Yeah, I'm here for the swingers party.
Call my bearded lizard.
Give me some sugar, baby.
Yes, give me some. Oh, I went to see Demon Hunter with Scary Jerry. We went out yesterday. We had a couple beers, and we wish you were here in Indiana so you could have went. We went to see the Evil Dead, the new one.
Oh, you did. So give me a report on the Evil Dead, Sean.
Well, I am not a professional, movie review guy, but I do like to think that I know spooky movies and scary movies, and I don't want to say too much because we got requests for some of the stars on the show coming on our show as guests, and I'm afraid to say anything. So, but I'm going to.
Could you say that would make them not want to come on to our show, Sean?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's... Hello. I mean, you got to think about what you say ahead of time, but I'm going to go ahead and say, because I think I owe it to the people. Guys, I respect the fact that they're in film and that they're actors, but my God, Demon Hunter, if we can't get back on TV, and these cats are, in Hollywood, on movies... I mean, I don't know what this world's coming to. Beautiful actress. I mean, the girls were just grade A. I mean, gorgeous girls were in this. But the guys were just irritating to the point where they kept talking about the book. We all know the book and all. I'm not going to give away anything for you guys, but come on, man. You can't give away The Evil Dead. You should have seen it by now. I mean, it's the same plot, just different characters, and a little different. But...
well, I do understand...
You're really clouding the energy in this room right now.
During the new movie is the original recording used in the first Evil Dead. The voice on the tape.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the first one. And I have been told that there is a little something at the end of all the credits.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know. You probably would know.
For the end of the credits, didn't you?
Yes, I only stayed at the end of the credits with the Marvel movies.
Well, I will say that I have seen the end of the credits.
Uh-huh. Is it a lead into Army of Darkness? Please tell me they're not going to hack Army of Darkness.
No, it's not a lead into Army of Darkness. And honestly, it will probably be out on YouTube within a month or so, and it's nothing so great that you have to wait till the end of the credits. But I will say this. They took the original recording of the first movie, like I said. It's the same voice. They took the original recording and they play it throughout the credits, while at the end of the credits.
Yeah, with the professor talking and his wife starts going nuts in the background. She's possessed and all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I like that. Now, I did see the one
worth
portion.
listening to again, but you can get that off the DVD.
It's the devil's music.
I did see that one where the book closed. I seen that part, at the end, and the Book of the Dead closed, back shut. I posted, I said, it's a pig. I mean, how can you, me and you are big fans of Bruce Campbell, right?
Huge fans of Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, the actor. Never met the man, the actor, the Ash. I'm a big fan of Ash, his character.
Well, I got to say, like I said, last year I was out going to do just some private filming and going out and doing some stuff. And I sent him a picture of my wardrobe, which was all Hawaiian shirts.
Yes. Were you trying to be Charlie Sheen or what? What's going on here?
No, it was just I was going down south and I was just going to wear Hawaiian shirts the whole time. I decided that in honor of Bruce Campbell. And I sent him the picture of the rack that hung, my wardrobe rack, and he sent me back a photo of his, and we got into a whole conversation regarding, Hawaiian shirt wear, which should have a name, but I don't know it. So
yeah. And you never know. We could have a surprise for people in the future on the show.
Never know.
You never know, Demon.
Bruce, you want to be on this show. I know you do.
You never know. You never know with the G&D show.
You never know what's going to happen.
You never know. Demon Hunter.
Before we go on, we have to get everybody ready with our advisory.
That's it. And here we go.
Hi, this is Matt Milk from the Zombie Research Society, and here's your weekly update from the G&D Zombie Alert System. Now back to you, Sean and Nate.
Yes, thank you, Matt. Back to us.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I wanted to watch that, but now I have to go over and go to another channel here so that I can read the zombie advisory.
Oh, did you watch it? Here, I'll play it over again.
It's cool. I can do it.
I'm gonna keep playing it for people so they can get
It's
excited.
time once again for the D&D Zombie Advisory, brought to you by Midnight Syndicate and the Zombie Research Society.
Midnight Syndicate.
Right now. Now, we here at the Ghostman and Demon Hunter Show aren't saying the zombie apocalypse is going to happen.
No.
But when it does, and it will, we want our listeners to be among the most prepared survivors.
Yes.
So each week we follow updates of outbreaks from the CDC
That's
and
right.
chemical and biological spill information, plus news search engine sweeps looking for groups of words like attacked and bitten, missing bodies, or zombie apocalypse,
Okay.
to bring you the most up-to-date news of the oncoming doom. So let's get started. Despite the fact that the CDC has only reported outbreaks of salmonella via chicken and E. coli via frozen foods over the last few months here in the U.S., there have still been some interesting reports about chemical spills in the water surrounding our country. These include a chemical and biological spill off the coast of Louisiana, which we know to have contained zinc bromide.
Yeah.
Is that the stuff you take when you have indigestion? No, never mind. And a mysterious sheen in the water off of Hawaii.
Yeah.
These together would
Hold
not...
on, Demon Hunter. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
These together would not add up. And we might have to keep the advisory at low. However, we must also consider the following report brought to us from the Huffington Post. Zombie apocalypse claims... zombie apocalypse. Jeremy Hartland claims undead chasing him caused big rig crash. When the zombie apocalypse comes, this guy is definitely not on our team.
No.
Jeremy Hartland, 19, is accused of stealing a 3-axle tractor-trailer truck Saturday, speeding down a California highway and flipping it on its side, causing multiple wrecks. His excuse? Zombies. He was arrested at the crash scene and appeared to be in an altered state, claiming he was being chased by zombies. California Highway Patrol California Highway Patrol officer Nathan Beer told Hey, there you go, Sean.
Nathan Beer was under the influence? Or what?
Told the Patch on Monday.
Okay.
It's unclear when the alleged zombies came into the picture. But the insanity began at the Riverside County Wait Station. Okay. Heartland allegedly hijacked a big rig, which was loaded with strawberries. The Associated Press editor's notes, that was the mistake number one. Okay. In a zombie apocalypse, never commandeer a tractor trailer. You might think it has stopping power, but at some point or another, you're going to flip. Okay? The alleged... Okay. Oh, no. I lost my story, Sean.
You lost it?
I lost my story. What did you do?
Did I take the story off the air?
I don't know. Let's go back and find out.
Well, let's see. Oh, you lost your music, you mean?
Oh, no. I lost the whole story. Went blank for a second there. I
don't know.
But that's okay, because people who are listening to the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter show expect that.
Let me cue the music again.
He allegedly took down a interstate...
Hi, this is Matt Milk from the Zombie Research Society.
The music without that would have been fine.
Yeah, I know.
He allegedly took off down Interstate 15, sweeping several vehicles and prompting multiple crashes that injured several people, according to the Union Times.
Okay.
He's separated from... He's suspected of striking two more cars before the semi jackknifed, blocking all 4 lanes of traffic.
Right.
So if you were caught in traffic last week, Heartland then fled the vehicle and tried to steal a van, but the van's driver detained him until police arrived.
Yeah.
He was treated at the hospital and he was treated at the hospital and booked into the French Valley Jail.
French Valley Jail. That don't sound like a place.
7 victims in Saturday's crash are severely injured. Now, chances are...
Did they turn into zombies?
That this is just the result of a young man who may or may not have been affected by some kind of chemical or biological substance that he may have inhaled or ingested or been exposed to by his choice or accident. Yeah. But since no effort seems to have been made to rule out his zombie sighting, we have to raise the zombie alert to guarded until the time where his evidence is ruled out, or so much time has gone past that we're pretty sure that there are no zombies. This being the case, I have to say best luck, California, since you always seem to be among the first to get hit by the zombies.
Zombies.
My question here is, Sean, isn't it always the guy who's taken to the hospital after an accident that starts the zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, it usually happens like that. Then
this is no laughing matter, Sean.
I'm not laughing.
It's a serious report.
The dead people are.
So we are at guarded, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, the zombie alert system, we are at guarded.
Guarded.
You're crazy.
Yes. I'm ready. I think the zombie apocalypse is going to happen, dude. Any day.
And you will be the first taken out.
I will be the first to go, Demon Hunter. Okay.
They love them husky, Sean. They love them husky.
They do. They do.
A lot of meat on them bones.
A lot of meat, but I can run. I can run, especially when there's a zombie coming.
Hey, you know what they say about the zombie apocalypse? You don't have to run fast. You just have to run faster than the guy standing next to you.
That's it. See? So you'd be all right. I could outrun you, I think. Don't you think? I don't know. Let me turn this down. What was you going to say?
There's no rot talk. I feel lost.
I know. Oh, it's 8:04. We better go into our next segment, huh?
We better go into our next segment, play some music, and bring on our guest.
That's it. That's what we got to do, guys. Demon Hunter called it. Tonight's guest, Dwayne Claud. Don't go anywhere, guys. Animal Planet, Demon Exorcist, and the Bio Channels, guys, just came out last night. The premiere of Something Wicked. He was on there last night. He's a published author, lecturer, demonologist, guys. Stay tuned. We got some spooky stuff to play for you. Real live Exorcist on tape. Okay, we're going to go to break, and we're going to play Britannica. Check them out on Facebook, guys. Britannica, Don't Burn the Witch. We'll be right back.
Give her the night, oh, give her the night. Give her what's right, oh, give her the night. Don't burn the witch, she'll get right back at you. Don't burn the witch, your friends and family too. Don't burn the witch, she got that scent brew, but she is a dream of tomorrow. Give her the night, oh, give her the night. Give her what's right, oh, give her the night. Don't burn the witch, she's got that scent and all. Don't burn the witch, she'll see the family fall. Don't burn the witch, she'll get back one and all. For she is a dream of tomorrow. Give her the night, do what's right. Give her the night, oh, give her the night. Give her what's right, oh, give her the night. Don't burn the witch, she'll get right back at you. Don't burn the witch, your friends and family too. Don't burn the witch, she got that scent and brew, for she is a dream of tomorrow. Give her the night, give her what's right.
Hey, this is Doug Jones, the Silver Surfer from Fantastic Four, Abe Sapien from the Hellboy movies, Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus, the Fawn from Pan's Labyrinth, and more that I don't want to talk about. But right now, You are listening to the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter Show.
Yes, I am not your savior. Ladies and gentlemen, listeners around the world, G&D Nation, welcome back to the G&D Show.
You know, Sean, I have to say, you came in, you said, I am not your savior. I was thinking the exact same thing when I came in. I am not your savior. I don't know why I was thinking the same thing you were.
That's quinkydink, man. You must be psychic. You must be psychic. That must be what it is.
We're attached in the brain.
Magic 8-Ball.
No.
Oh, it's still broke. I was going to ask it if I could
break the Magic 8-Ball, Sean.
Yeah, I know. I was going to ask if I could get another Magic 8-Ball. I don't think I'm going to get one in the studio. It's not in the budget. $10. Kmart, $9.95.
No, that's out of the budget. Definitely out of the budget.
Definitely out of the budget. Oh, guys, quick reminder. The band at the commercial break you were listening to, of course, was Britannica. That's with 2 N's. Make sure to check them out on Facebook. Tell them the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter Show sent you. That's a great band from Massachusetts. Yeah.
From Illinois?
Yeah, I heard them play. They were in Salem live, man. That's a great band. They play at the Halloween Festival every year.
You definitely want to come up here. Well, Sean, if we can find a time for you to come up here, I will go to Salem, but I will not go up for Halloween.
Why? It's like Mardi Gras, yeah?
You can't get into the town. The one time I had to drive through Salem, it was on Halloween, and it took me 3.5 hours to go through a town that should have taken me like 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like a small candlestick town, right? That's what we call them here. It's like Brown County. Scenic, beautiful, lots of history.
Yeah.
I just want to see the old cemeteries with the black cats.
I just want to go up to there myself, but I don't want to go for Halloween.
Okay.
Besides, October, Halloween, that's when I go up to the cemetery and drink.
Yeah, oh yeah, you do. You do go up there and do that. And people love that. People love that about you. You go to the cemetery. You never did meet resistance about that, right? They said they were going to shut that down for a while, you was telling me?
Yeah, they tried, but, they finally, we made some contacts, and it still goes on. We're not allowed to say what cemetery we go to drink at, so don't come looking for me, folks. That's my time. That's Demon Hunter time.
That's Demon Hunter time. Guys, this is the G&D Show. If you're just joining us, let's go right into the segment. Tonight's guest, Dwayne Claud from the Animal Planet's Demon Exorcist and the Bio channel that just premiered last night, guys, Something Wicked. He's also a known published author, lecturer, and demonologist. Help us. Help everyone. Welcome to the show, the main stage. Dwayne, what's going on, brother?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me back on. It's been a while.
It has.
It's been too long, brother. Too long. We love you, though. Did you see all the hard work I did? I put in the poster I made for you. I put your face up there and everything.
I appreciate it. You made me look better than I actually am. I don't know how you did it. But.
I'm a Photoshop god now. I learned on YouTube.
It's funny. Sean and I have discussed this. When you're on television, they work really hard to make you look good. Better than you actually look.
Really? Because they put me in a wetsuit. Yeah.
Well, they were trying to make you look like an otter.
Yes.
Wait, you already are.
A happy, chubby otter. Huh? Did you see that, Dwayne, when we were on TV? The wetsuit seen around the world? You didn't see that, did you? No, you didn't. Dwayne, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I guess you didn't see the wetsuit.
I didn't see the wetsuit. I tuned into you guys by all means, but maybe I walked out of the room at that point.
Oh, well, thank you.
I knew that you were going to be in the wetsuit. Didn't want to see that. So,
No, you wouldn't have known. They didn't put that in the previews. They wanted people to tune in.
Don't feel bad, Dwayne. That millions of people saw Sean in the wetsuit, and they've all tried really hard to forget it.
They loved it. Whatever, I looked good in the wetsuit. But anyway, Dwayne, thanks for coming on tonight, man. Yeah, real exciting news, right? You got the little interview you did there on the Bio channel last night, premiere, Something Wicked.
I have to say, I was telling my wife last night that for the most part, I haven't been watching paranormal television lately.
Yeah.
Or for a long time. And when I tuned into what they actually did with Something Wicked last night, I was actually kind of impressed. They definitely took a different spin on the paranormal with it.
They actually made it almost like one of those cop shows.
Uh-huh.
But it was a cop show about a paranormal incident. I think they're trying to like merge those audiences, the people who like watching the cop shows.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the best part about it was, though, is they presented a majority of the facts, and at the end, they really didn't tell you what to believe. They just left it as, you know, here's the facts of what happened. You make the decision whether or not it was a demonic situation, and, you know, you decide. And that's part of what I really like. And that's always been my biggest draw to the paranormal, because, you know, you really can't prove anything one way or the other. It's just present what you have and let everybody make their own decisions.
Well, it was funny, too, because when you posted that you were going to be on the show, that you were down there in Kentucky filming it, Sean and I have been throwing back and forth talking to each other about the fact that when I was on my honeymoon, I received a phone call that said, we're going to be filming this show down in Kentucky, and we'd love to have you come down and be a part of it. And I was like, you know, I'm in the middle of my honeymoon right now. I can't go. And then when you got online and talked about exactly the time that you were out filming, I found out this was the show I was supposed to go and help. And now I was all disappointed that I didn't go and get to do the show with you. But you said they kept everybody so separated that we wouldn't have gotten to hang out anyway.
You know, they really did. And it was one of the oddest filmings that I'd really done, because I had little contact with the producers. I mean, they gave me some material up front, and they said, you need to meet us at this deserted warehouse, an old paint factory.
You know, Sean and I get asked to meet people at deserted warehouses all the time.
I just did today, Dwayne, on Craigslist. I'm trying to sell some lizards, and a girl said...
you know, and they took me to the deepest, darkest, farthest point of the cellar to shoot at. You know, so I mean, it was really kind of creepy. But, you know, they definitely went for, you know, trying to find the creepy location to do it at.
You know, usually when people try to bring me to the deepest, darkest part of the cellar to do some shooting, it's a different kind of shooting.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know what they captured, though, with Something Wicked? And like you said, Dwayne, I haven't watched paranormal television. We seen that because you're a good friend of the show, and we was watching that last night, and it was a quality program. I really liked it because it didn't focus on the ghost hunters or whatever. It focused on the storyline. You know what I mean? And everybody loves a great story, even if it's not authentic, if you've heard it, because the story is more haunting than actual haunting. Now, you've seen things that I haven't seen, or, you know, Nathan, I can't speak for him, but I know I haven't seen, I haven't had anything pop out on the tons of investigations I've been in, the 13 years I've done this or longer. I've never had something come out and possess somebody that I've seen. Anyway, I know there's different types of possession. We're going to get into that later. But this show last night, Something Wicked, really focused on the horror. I mean, the dark side of the human mind. And we got some clips that you sent. Thanks for that. And when the guy starts growling and talking and telling her how this is going to happen and that's going to happen, I mean, that's scary, man. That's real life, you know?
You know, and that's one of the scariest things about this stuff is the people. Because, quite honestly, people have asked me, don't you get scared when you go ghost hunting? And it's no. The thing that scares me the most is the people.
Oh, yeah.
And when they get influenced by something darker, you really don't know what they are capable of.
Right.
Or what they're going to do.
Or they're unstable off the bat anyway, yeah?
Yeah, I do know, like, people always ask me, is there an incident that really scared you? And when you were out ghost hunting. And I know for me, the incident that was the scariest, I was out doing a ghost hunt. I was one of the research projects I was doing, studying, like, reports of activity by different belief systems. And I was at a house where these people practice witchcraft because they reported dark figures moving around. And myself and one of the neighbors who didn't know anything about this both saw this dark figure walk through the yard. And I thought to myself, I got to get closer. And I ran after it. And it's the only time in my life I can say that I was attacked by something, and it really attacked me. I mean, people said I was on the ground shaking and screaming. And so, I mean, yeah, can these things hurt you? Of course they can. They're millennia old spirits that hate you. They can do whatever they want.
Is that the one that you did with the My Ghost Story?
No, that was a different. That was where something just bumped into me. That nowadays, if something bumps into me, I don't care. After that, nothing. It's like, oh, there's a ghost here.
It's
okay,
like, oh, pardon me, Satan. Yeah.
Excuse me, Satan. Were you trying to get by? I apologize. Here, have a drink.
There was a case that I worked with about 5 years ago that I actually sent you an audio clip of it, where it was a young woman, maybe 32 years old at the time, had lots of problems. When you talk about problems, you're talking about, she had some children die at birth. She had some addiction problems, had some faith problems, lots of bad luck, lots of things that just seemed to compile upon each other. And one of the situations that really led her to actually give me a call was that she'd start praying and something would just take her over and wouldn't allow her to pray anymore. And you always go into situations like that with an air of caution and a lot of disbelief until you actually see what's going on.
Now, Dwayne, I was reading... I'm sorry. Did I interrupt?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay. Okay, because my ADD kicks in. I just got to get it out, brother. You know what I'm saying?
We're ADDJs.
That's it. DJ for the ADD. Hey, but I was going to say, I was reading on your bio, and I was checking some stuff out, and you've been a good friend of the show for, we've been on the air now 6 years or something, and I've never really checked out your bio. I know you've done a lot of TV and stuff like that, but I was reading up on you, and one of the things that I had seen, and it might be wrong. Are you religious? Are you religious faith? Because somewhere I read that says you're neither. You're just kind of open.
I don't like the word religious.
Right.
Because it means that I subscribe to one belief system or another. Mm-hmm. I didn't start this whole thing out being spiritual at all, to be completely honest. I mean, it was me getting myself into a situation and suddenly discovering that there are a whole lot more out there than just us. And it involved playing with the Ouija board and, suddenly inviting things into my life and the life of those around me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dwayne, why the Ouija board? No.
It was a game. That's what we thought,
Is it a game or isn't it?
And it's still to this day, I still see Ouija boards as just a piece of cardboard plastic.
Sure.
But it's really more the intention that comes through. And it was really that situation that really kind of led me down the fact of finding my spirituality. And, I do have my own roots in Catholicism, but I also, look at the shamanistic side of things, and, I do have some interest in voodooism. So, my background tends to be a little bit more diverse, especially when it comes to dealing and trying to help other individuals, because you really need that wide background. Even though a lot of the demonic cases tend to be, quote-unquote, Catholic-related or Christianity-related when they come to you.
Right. Now, do you think, because I know on a lot of cases I've been on, and I didn't go in as a demonologist or anything like that. I always tell people when I used to do it constantly, hey, all I can do is observe and record the data and give it back to you. Maybe try to find out what or why. And, turn it over to, if you're Catholic or whatever your faith is, try to talk to a priest and bring in my findings or whatever you would like, So
right.
I used to go in there, and I know what you and Nathan have encountered. And Nathan, when we were filming, we encountered some pretty crazy stuff out there at the prison.
Oh, yeah.
But, these people, and you guys they kind of covered this last night in Something Wicked, Dwayne. You've probably seen it. Remember the lady had went to the church, and the church turned her away. They were like, well, our hours are 7 to 4. You can stay here and pray as much as you want. God bless you, and good luck with the whole Satan thing. But, and I found that out here in Indiana and Kentucky and a lot of places in the Midwest when I would go to cases. They turned to the church first. And I'm not bad-mouthing the church or, anything like that, but the church just won't deal with it.
A lot of those priests are really in over their head. And what I've kind of found over the years has been that the older priests that have passed away at this point, that really kind of believed in this, that would help individuals, are no longer there. Right. And the younger priests just don't have the faith that there is something that negative out there. And it scares them when they do come face to face with it, and they don't know what to do.
It's almost as if the new generation of religious leaders want to put the idea out there that good and evil are an archetype because that's politically correct. But they don't want to face the possibility of true presence of good or evil.
No, I completely agree. And, one of the things that I think that also does overlook is a huge amount of personal choice that individuals have to bring these things into their lives. And I know that's one of the challenges that I've faced over the years, is that you can go in and help an individual or try to help an individual, but unless they're willing to make the changes in their life that they need to make to keep these things out, they'll still come back.
Right.
And I think that's a lot of frustration, too, that does occur.
Right. Well, I think so, too. I think you bring up a good point with that. What I was trying to lead into before my mind got lost there is with the religious thing. You don't necessarily have to be of a religious background to do battle with these dark entities or whatever, yeah? I mean, you don't...
I lost my train of thought when he started doing the thing with the tongue on the show there with Lynn Blair.
I had to do it. I had to do it. It was from, what was it, Repossessed? When the girl was, she was an ice cream cone going, lick me, remember? I thought Dwayne would like that. You got to, it's the laughs, right, Dwayne? You got to laugh about some of it, right? Or you go nuts.
Absolutely. If you didn't laugh, I mean, you'd definitely go crazy with it. I mean, that's for sure.
Well, I think laughter is a good way to battle things in your life if they are of a negative, influence. Laughter's the best medicine with a lot of things, right? Good energy, yeah?
The Ghostman and Demon Hunter show is good medicine.
Yeah, we are demon-free, buddy. Demon-free. But, you wrote a couple books, too. Switching off. Haunted Buffalo. You were the co-author on that, I believe. And Haunted Finger Lakes. Yeah?
Yeah, there's actually about 5 or 6 books out there. A lot of them were location-type ghost hunting books of, this is where to go to find the local stories. And a lot of them covered, like, local lores and legends.
Yeah.
There was also one book that I did write called Baptism by Fire, which actually talked about some of the demonology work that I've done.
Okay.
Well, it's interesting, too, because you and I have had this talk before when you discussed the demonology work. I get calls all the time because Sean and I are in the public eye with the G&D show, and my name is the Demon Hunter. So people call me up and say, I have a demon in my house. And I say, that's very interesting. How do you think it got there? And there's a pause, and they're like, well, aren't you supposed to tell me that? I'm like, well, I'm an occultist, not a demonologist. Everybody automatically thinks I'm a demonologist. But, that I remember when Sean and I first met, I was working with John Zaffis, and John had said, whatever you do, don't tell anybody you're a demonologist, because that is the only case you will ever see again, is demon-related cases. And when Sean and I actually ran into him, I think, Sean, where were we? We were down at it was the first thing we did, Crescent Hotel.
Yeah.
Crescent Hotel. He grabbed me by the throat and said, I told you not to say anything about demons. What do? You call yourself the Demon Hunter. And I knocked him away and went, John, I didn't call myself that. People heard I worked with you, and they called me it.
I tell you with the different, what was you going to say, Dwayne?
I have to agree with that. I mean, I never called myself a demonologist either. And it just, because those cases are the ones you end up beginning to work with, people start to label you that.
See, I didn't want to do that in your intro tonight, Bub. I didn't want to say demonologist, but it was everywhere.
Yeah. After a while, you just accept it. You just,
no, I fight it. I fight it, Dwayne. I say, no, I am not a demonologist. In fact, when Sean and I did Extreme Paranormal, you remember, Sean, they kept saying, Nathan Schoonover, demonologist. And I kept saying, no, I am not a demonologist.
No, just a regular guy. But, Dwayne, when I was younger, I seen a I seen an exorcist in the back of our church. We were Baptist, and I seen it, I think I was 13, something like that, and I snuck back there, and my dad was deacon of the church, and this guy named Brother York had came in with his wife, and they were traveling evangelists that did these exorcism. I think the Baptist church called them something else, cleansing. I know when they came to the home, it was cleansing. I grew up in a haunted home, blah, 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 blah. So they put this woman in the chair in the back room, and I know this is old stuff to you. You've probably seen it all, but I remember her eyes rolled back in her head, and, she brought up the whole Legion because we were many or whatever, because he was trying to speak to the demon. And I remember one thing my dad was very mad about. They didn't know I was in the room, by the way, but he was very upset after.
Deliverance. That was the word you were looking for.
Deliverance. Yeah. They do deliverance. I guess there's a book about it called Pigs in the Parlor. And they had taken this demon out of this woman and placed it into his wife. I don't know what you guys think about that, but all of a sudden the demon comes through. The demon before wasn't speaking, but now that it was in his wife, his beloved, the demon was able to communicate with this preacher. And I remember it would, the voices got very guttural moans, and it would say, look at him kind of funny, and his wife would say, I hate you, I'll kill you, and all this. So he cast this demon out, I don't remember how he did it, but I that's always stuck with me. That and the movie The Exorcist, when I was a kid, and, the lady used to walk around our house, the ghost lady or whatever, but I remember that. What do you think about the different types of these? They call them different things: cleansings, exorcists, stuff like that. My dad walked around our house with a preacher, and they'd read scripture in each room of the house. And I seen the lady more after they did that. And I always said sometimes the religious aspect of these things are going in, makes it worse, I think. What do you think?
I absolutely agree. I mean, a big part of what they're doing, and people are going to argue with me about this, is you're really working into the individual's faith and their belief system. So if they believe that what they need is an exorcism, then that's what they need to have happen.
Right.
So one of the biggest challenges is sometimes if someone is going in and doing those blessings and they really don't have the experience with what they're doing, all you're doing is poking and prodding things, and it's going to make things worse. And if it's not done correctly, they're going to come back even stronger.
Right.
And that tends to be more of what happens than anything else.
Yeah. Now, when you grew up...
One of the biggest things that people overlook is you just can't go in and cleanse a house. You can't just go in and exercise an individual.
Right.
They need to find the point of contact, why it's there. And then you need to take those grounds away about why it's there. It's not just waving a magic wand.
It's interesting, too, because I remember my big feeling on it was a lot of these times I would go into houses, and there'd be somebody in that house that I knew was actually almost happy this was going on because their quiet everyday lives were now special. And one of the things I would tell people is, once I do this, once I go through here and help you, you have to stop wanting this thing in here to make you feel special. Because by you're just wanting it here, by you're inviting it in, there's nothing I can do. But nine times out of 10, there's always somebody who wanted to feel special, and that's why they wanted that thing in their house.
It's a secondary gain, and that's what needs to stop for things to change.
Right. Hey, I'll tell you what, Dwayne, and then we're going to have to go to your clips because you got some crazy clips I want to play for the viewers. Very spooky, folks. I went to this one case one time, and it was in Terre Haute, Indiana, beautiful Terre Haute, Indiana, and it was an old mortuary, and these people said the place was haunted, and I did get some EVP. It said Rotten Hell. Remember that one, Nate? It said Rotten Hell, voice said whatever. So that just got me going. I was like, okay, baby, let's keep it going, And it's probably stupid. You probably could have killed me or something, but that's what I do, guys. That's all I know. But we were doing this, and the lady... when she called me, she said, you got to come look at this. And I said, what's that? And she goes, there's upside down crosses, signs of crosses on my shower wall. So I raced over there, and I'm thinking they're in goat's blood or, something like that, or they're bleeding from the walls or anything. But it was upside down crosses that had been, you could have done it with a pencil or your finger or whatever, in the shower scum on the walls. Apparently she wasn't very good at it. The demon didn't assist with the housekeeping, apparently, but I'm not making light.
They never do, Sean. They never do.
Yeah.
A true demon likes a messy house.
Lazy bums. They get no respect on this show. But the thing about it is, these crosses were upside down, and she was trying to tell me this story. I believe in my heart it was fake. I think the lady was wasting my time, but I think she was. There was EVP from the house. I think she was making it, adding to for effect to keep us coming in the house and blah 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 blah. The eyes on the China doll. Remember I was telling you about this, Nate? The eyes moved.
Which is why you don't like those dolls.
I don't deal well with dolls, man. I was talking to this thing, Dwayne, and I said, if you hear, show yourself. These people ain't scared. I'm not scared of you. Show yourself. You show yourself to the kids. Same stuff you probably do. Similar. You got to call it out. And the eyes on the dolls, it must have knew exactly what could get to me because these eyes went blink, blink. And I said, I'm going to go outside for a cigarette, folks. I'll be right back. But, oh, man, do you ever run into anything like that? It's a two-part question. Do you ever run into any people trying to fake you out? And number two, have you ever ran into any dolls that got satanic on you?
You know what? Dolls freak me out, so I stay away from any case of dealing with dolls.
Drew.
Completely honest.
Wait, Dwayne, I'm sorry, I called you Drew for a second there. I don't know why. Dwayne, do you know what Sean sent me for my birthday 2 years ago? A haunted doll. He actually found a haunted doll. He went through the haunted doll museum.
That's love.
And got the woman to help him find a haunted doll and then sent it to me.
That's love.
Wow.
Dwayne, guess what you're
need a moment here?
Guess what you're getting this year, Dwayne, for coming on the show. I'm on eBay now, buddy. But yeah, those freak me out, dude. So what about people lying to you? Wasting your time when you get all your gear and everything packed up and you go out there. Isn't that terrible?
I've only had one case that was borderline like that, and we were able to intercept it ahead of time. What my problem and challenge tends to be more is people that have some sort of mental challenge,
right?
That has some sort of psychosis that's going on, and that's really what becomes more a problem for me, especially since the paranormal has become mainstream Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Over the past few years, it used to be that the cases that you got were more legitimate because everyone was scared to death to even talk about the possibility of a demon or even a ghost story sometimes, but now everybody wants paranormal activity to happen in their house and have it covered on national television.
Yeah.
That tends to be more the problem that I run into.
Yeah, me too.
So, I've gone into places, almost any place it seems like you can get an EVP or something like that because, you do go in and do that paranormal investigation aspect of it. But people tend to want to believe the worst of what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And because everybody wants something scary.
Well, it's funny, too, because you and I have talked about this, too, Dwayne. The fact that 20 years ago, if you got a call for a paranormal case, it was because they wanted something out of their house. Now, if you get a call, it's because they want you to prove that there's something in their house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one that called me out one time, guys, and they said, "Oh, by the way, are you going to call the Tribune Star to come out with you down there to Terre Haute?" I said, "You know what, guys? I'm kind of busy this weekend. Come on, man." Yeah. Oh, by the way, you going to get the newspapers out there? Sure. Why not? It's supposed to be authentic. You guys are really scared, huh? But I tell you what, we're running out of time, guys. We're at 8:38, Demon Hunter. What do you say that we ask Dwayne to go over some of these awesome recordings with us, man?
We can do that because there are some really cool recordings there.
I got Servants' Quarters and Basement 1 loaded up. You tell me where to start.
Okay, let's start with Servants' Quarters. It's a little bit of a longer clip.
Okay.
But that clip was actually taken on the first paranormal investigation I ever did. And unfortunately, that's the place where I played with the Ouija board. And happened at Prospect Place out in Ohio. And we were in the servants' quarters there. And you'll actually hear something hiss originally. And a few seconds later, you'll actually hear them say, "Give them penis."
Okay.
And,
give them what?
Penis.
Ah, I thought you said peanuts. I was like, his house is infested by dynamic squirrels.
I wish they would have said that.
Yeah.
But
give them beer and peanuts. Why, thank you, Satan. That's terrible.
Unfortunately, after that, everybody was standing in a circle. They got poked as whatever was there went around, too. So,
yeah.
But it's a pretty creepy clip, so.
Let's play it. I'm going to play it twice, guys. I'm going to take myself out of the mix for the listeners around the world can hear it better, and I'm going to play it twice back to back, okay?
Okay.
Right, here we go.
I just saw multiple movements.
angle must be, because he looks...
Dad in here.
It's not me. No. It's my mother.
Okay, so that was at about 43 seconds, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says give them penis. Did you hear that, Demon Hunter?
I did, and I know you were just playing that clip because you were waiting for the chance to say penis earlier.
I don't need that clip to say.
I'm good with it. Now, Dwayne.
Want to play it again? Just that clip real quick?
We'll play that clip again, but I just want to ask, who was all in the room? Because the laughter and everything like that, I want to rule all that out.
Well, we did have, there was probably about 3 or 4 people in the room with us. So, I mean, the background laughter and stuff, I mean, you definitely can rule out the people there doing the ghost hunt with us. Keep in mind, at this point in time, I actually have a tape recorder in my hand. And it's the old magnetic tape.
I love old magnetic tape.
And, you know, again, I mean, what's there is right on top of the microphone. And it's just, you know, it was one of those real cheap Walmart recorders that I had with a built-in mic. So whatever was there would have to have been right on top of me.
So we have a pornography-loving demon whispering into your microphone.
Well, that's another thing I was going to bring up, Dwayne. Why is it, do you think, with these spirits, and I've had them too, I mean, the demons must be getting gypped nowadays because, you know, back in the day, the F word and, you know, suck this and that, it used to be offensive. Nowadays, it's like, you know, that's something you say with your buddies. Why so... I guess...
proper?
Well, I mean, no, why? It's just, it's not scary. You know, now Linda Blair, head spin and stuff like that, you hardly ever see that kind of stuff. I've never seen it, but, you know, with the FUs and stuff like that, I mean, couldn't that just be, I say, same in life, same in death. So if you're a negative a-hole in life, then you're a negative a-hole in death. Couldn't this just be a spirit that's moved on or refuses to move on or whatever that just says, hey, F you, Dwayne? Does it have to be a demon?
It could have been that if other things didn't happen that night.
Right.
I mean, we actually had a 7 or 8 foot tall shadow figure. What I would possibly say attempted to possess a young individual that night that was on site. That we had to escort off property. That basically would show up next to that person's bed for the next 6 months.
Oh wow!
Trying to, so it was more than just the EVP. The place also had, when you go into the basement, you could see where they had conducted ceremonies in the basement because the place did have, a history of occult activity. And from what the local history says, it was, more demonic, satanic type ritual. And satanic is the wrong way to say it, but I mean demonic worshiping and a lot of negativity on the property itself.
Okay, well,
so it's just like when you do demonology work, you're not just taking the evidence itself, but you're looking at everything else that's going on in the situation.
Yeah. Well, let's play this one more time, fellas. We're going to start at 30 seconds, for we won't go through the whole thing. And then we'll move on to basement. Okay, Dwayne?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I'm looking at a really bad angle, must be, because he looks... I'm looking at a really bad angle, must be, because he looks...
Okay, there's no dispute. I mean, that's what it says. That's what I hear, guys.
I thought it was saying, get a pianist.
Pianist?
Wanted a piano player.
Yes. Okay, basement, Dwayne.
Basement was a case that we did where the individuals in the house were experiencing hagging, which is spiritual rape, having lots of bad luck in the house, seeing all sorts of apparitions, scratches, bruises, things like that appearing. What was interesting about this house was it was actually built in the shape of a triangle.
Okay.
There was also 3 separate floors to it. We were in the basement doing an investigation, trying to cleanse the house. Before we even went on the investigation, my wife had this name come to her. And while I'm in the basement, I called that entity out by name. It actually responded. Now, what's really interesting about this clip was it was an actual audible response that was recorded on 3 different levels of the house at the same time on multiple recorders.
Okay, we ready, guys?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yep.
And what are we listening for, Dwayne?
It's going to be pretty obvious. You're actually going to hear a roar building in the background, and you're actually going to hear people responding to what's going on.
Okay, folks, listeners around the world, here we go.
Already knowing why he is here.
What would that roar say? What would that roar say? What would that roar say?
Now, that was spooky. Now, I've heard that kind of stuff before. It actually sounds like 2 cats in a bag going at it.
It is what it sounded like. And that was probably one of the freakier things that happened because we heard it. And it's not one of those
So
things
it was
you go
a
back and listen.
disembodied voice.
Yeah.
I love those. You don't get enough of those, do you?
That's the only one I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
So they're extremely rare.
Makes it hard to sleep in the place that night. If you
Please, Sean, you've investigated with me. I can sleep anywhere.
Yeah, you can sleep anywhere, especially with the help of no-doze or whatever it is, or doze off or whatever it is. But I know we've been on that one house case together, Demon Hunter, and we heard the mommy disembodied voice.
Whispers Estate.
Whispers Estate, yeah. And I got to tell you, Dwayne, I'll face whatever you want me to face with you head on, but when I'm asleep, I'd prefer not to have Satan standing over me when I wake up, or a little girl with their face. Just don't surprise me, baby,
Dwayne, that was one of those cases where Sean and I were out there, and he's out, Sean and I don't ghost hunt. We go to a house, set up the equipment, and then wait for something to happen. We just, we're not there to prove anything to anyone. We're there to just experience it for ourselves. So I'm sitting in the other room with a headset on, and all of a sudden I hear a voice go, "Mommy?" And I literally take the headset off and go, "Who's messing with me? Who said that?"
Yeah. I said, no, nobody, Nate. We were preparing for the show there. We're going to do a live broadcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Dwayne, the next one we got, brother, is the growl. You want to explain that real quick?
The growl was actually taken on a battlefield up in Youngstown, New York, or outside, and you can actually hear a disembodied voice growling. Again, it was a family that was having lots of negative spiritual issues going on.
Okay. Here we go, guys.
Where are you right now? Where are you right now?
Okay. Yeah, well, that was either your stomach, Dwayne, or...
That one makes me question, Dwayne, just because that to me sounds like my Harley. No, that sounds to me like my old Harley before I had a Jap bike. But, and I'm not saying that to say that anything about...
That's awful low for a Harley, though. And there was no fluctuation there, no gears.
There may indeed have been Ghost Rider around.
Yeah.
But, again, it comes down to just exactly what you're saying. Is not ghost hunting. It's the experience that's happening when you're there.
That's it. And a bunch of people, I gave up trying to prove myself to other people. Now I just do things like that for myself.
You know, I keep telling Sean, the actually perfect paranormal show that would be on television right now would be the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter show. It would be a cross between The Walking Dead or The Talking Dead and My Ghost Story. That would be the perfect show that's out there right now.
Yeah.
Because we just go out and be like, all right, let's see what happened. All right.
Yeah. We'd not get any guests, though, man. We'd piss off a couple.
Never get any guests. Nobody would ever want to be on our show.
Hey, Dwayne, you sent me the clip from last night's premiere of Something Wicked on the Bio channel, the show that you were in last night. And it's, you want to tell the listeners about that a little bit?
Well, the clip we sent is actually one of the recordings that of a phone conversation between Donna Fryman and her husband. And you know, for those people who didn't see the episode last night, the whole premise of the story is you have a couple, Louisville, Kentucky, that have a picture-perfect life. Suddenly things begin to change in the relationship, in their life, and something begins to take him over. And became very abusive, physically, mentally, very threatening. And just listening to his voice, you can kind of question whether or not there's a change going on with him.
Okay, and I know this piece because I watched it last night. This was actually used as evidence in the case that the man was trying to abuse this woman or kill her, right?
Yeah, I mean, she was actually tried for murder in Louisville and was acquitted because the jury felt that he was demonically possessed.
Okay, Demon Hunter, you ready?
I am always ready.
Listeners around the world,
this is like our old ghost hunting days, Sean. I'm listening to EVP.
EVP, it's been a while. Here we go.
Calling in to me at 12:15 a.m. on November the 7th, 2003. This is on his way home to me. This you will see in my journal as the night as soon as he walked in the door, he pointed a gun at me, put it into the wall, pull the trigger. It will be the wall. When you walk into the kitchen from the garage, it is the wall dead in front of you, right there in the hallway.
You don't understand.
This recording was again made at 12:15 a.m. on November 7, 2003, on his way home to me. He claims later that he was at Adrian Montgomery, Dustin Stanley's friend. Dustin used to work Uncle Philip used to work for Dustin's father, Dustin Stanley, at High Tech.
Okay, so I think we get the point there. The guy was nuts or demonically possessed. Yeah?
Are you asking my opinion?
Yes, I'm sorry. I guess I should. Dwayne, do you think the guy was nuts or demon possession there?
I'll be being completely honest. There's a lot of elements to the story that weren't presented properly, and I really kind of question the fact of whether or not he was possessed. I given the evidence that I've seen, and it was very limited, I wouldn't say that he was possessed.
Okay, that's groundbreaking, guys. First time ever that we've heard that.
Just because a lot of the things that they were talking about were more personality related, they really didn't go into any other types of things that were happening. Because usually when you have a demonic possession or oppression situation, you do have some poltergeist type activity. You do have a general haunting atmosphere as well. And there wasn't any.
No.
and there was no reason for the change. And like I said, there's always has to be some invitation for this stuff to happen.
That's one of the things I was watching last night. Everybody, if you're just joining us now, we're here with Dwayne Claud, who was on last night's episode of Something Wicked on the Bio Channel. I was watching the episode last night, and as I was watching it going, where's the stuff falling off the walls? The sister was drawn upstairs by the sounds coming out of the bedroom. He was constantly being plagued by dreams and things like that. You know, being in this business, Dwayne, you've had the nightmares, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, those nightmares occur when you touch into this stuff. But there was nothing that led me to believe that this was paranormal. This all seemed to be something that could be explained via psychological problems.
Well, one thing they didn't touch on was that there was also a history of drug abuse. So when they started talking about eyes changing, I mean, one of the things that was dramatized was eyes blazing to red. Well, from what I was told, the eyes were becoming black. And when you look at an individual going through cocaine withdrawal,
dilated,
which he was, that causes eye dilation. It's going to cause personality changes. It's going to cause hallucinations. So I think that was a big thing that was being overlooked. But you're also down in the Bible Belt.
Right.
And nowhere are we saying here that his wife did not defend herself in self-defense.
No, not at all.
We're just saying that it may not have been self-defense from a demon.
You know, it still could have possibly been. It could have been a mixture of both, for all that we know. I mean, it's really difficult looking at a situation from a third-point perspective. I mean, I was brought in, as well as the other individuals there, to really talk about what we do, to talk about demonology and what types of things happen in those situations.
Hey, Dwayne, we got a question from the chat room. Then we got to wrap up here, brother. They were asking, last night's show, do you know if it's going to go to series, or was it just the pilot and that's it?
You know, they shot the pilot. They're hoping it's going to go to series. They're actually the same people that produced Snapped, which has been a very successful show on Bio. So, I mean, they have their fingers crossed.
Well, there you go.
Well, you mean I might get a chance to go back on, and since I passed up the last time?
We just have to get our itineraries lined up better.
Yeah. Next time I won't be on my honeymoon, I swear.
Yeah.
I don't think that would have went over well if you decided to go down there.
My wife probably would not have been thrilled with that.
All right.
Although she would have accepted it. If I had said, honey, I have to leave the honeymoon, I have a shooting gig, she would have said, okay.
That's it.
But, hey Sean, first of all, I want to say thank you for Dwayne, because when I saw he was coming on the show, we moved things around so we could have Dwayne on tonight, because, we've got, the show was coming on last night. If we had known earlier, we could have had you on the week before, Dwayne, but then you couldn't have told us all this cool stuff.
The inside scoop.
I didn't know till the Thursday before, so,
okay.
I appreciate the opportunity, guys.
All right. Well, Nathan's always open. Hollywood, come calling. He'll answer the phone, buddy.
Hey, you know me. I'll do anything.
That's right. If you guys want to call me, I only take movies. So the Ghost Man's ready for movies. All right. What a night.
But hey, thank you, Dwayne. I gotta say thank you very much. And Sean, before we end tonight, go into all the people we have to thank, I want to remind people to join us next week, and we'll have Mark Phillips. If you don't know the name, that's because it's been less heard, because he's the executive producer of My Ghost Story on the Bio Channel. So all the My Ghost Stories you've gotten to watch were produced by this man, Mark Phillips, next week on the Ghost Man and Demon Hunter Show.
Okay, that's it, guys. Mark Williams, executive producer of My Ghost Story. Huh?
Mark Phillips.
Okay, Mark Phillips. Okay, guys, I'm going to finally close this show out. Special thanks to our guest, special friend of the show, Dwayne Claud. Dwayne, thanks for coming on, brother. Big shout out to Serial Weird, guys. Make sure you check it out on Facebook. Serial Weird on Facebook. That's the new horror magazine. Creations by Souls Denounced. Thanks for being there for us, guys. SoulDenounced.com. SoulsDenounced.com. And, of course, for our music, Midnight Syndicate. Thanks, guys. Check them out. They got some great tunes. Demon Hunter, anything to add?
I'm just really happy. I had a good night, and I didn't drink a thing tonight, Sean, I swear.
That's great. Okay, guys, from the haunted back roads of America, this has been another G&D exclusive interview. And we'll see you next week, I guess, Lord willing. Don't go changing America. You know we won't. Hey, Demon Hunter.
Love you.
We love you guys. Good night.
Say your